Can someone tell me why the number one song on the Billboard rock charts for 2019 was High Hopes? Excuse me? Do you know what rock is? Do you know what any genre is? Everything on the Billboard Top 100 sounds the exact same. None of it's different. It's all a variation of the same exact thing. What's music anymore? Usually music has meaning, There's a point in making the song. Not anymore, apparently. Apparently music, it's just to sell copies. So if you haven't guessed by now, today we're going to be reviewing the top rock charts on Billboard for 2019. So yeah, prepare to listen to me ramble and rant about useless things, even though this video is probably only going to get like 100 views. Let's be honest here, So yeah, let's check it out. Let's see how much complaining I can do in one video. Starting it off strong, you got High Hopes by the Brandon Urie Experience. I don't know how it's rock. Can someone please explain to me how this is rock? Panic at the Disco, sure, they had their roots in rock. That doesn't mean their new stuff is rock, considering it's not even the same people making the songs. Of course. Boom, number 2, you got Hey Look Ma, I Made It. Another, rock staple, the hardest rock song I think I've ever heard by our lovely boy, Brandon. Of course, the Panic at the Disco. He should just become a solo artist at this point, right? Like, there's no band, it's just him. Oh my god, this is so genuinely stupid as to how they think this is rock, And I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh yeah, if it's not metal, dude, it's not rock. If you don't listen to like Cannibal Corpse and Suicide Silence, then what are you? Like, you have no taste in music. I'm not one of those guys. But if you think this is rock, I'm sorry, you're wrong. This is not. This is ridiculous. At number 3, we have the best rock band of all time, Imagine Dragons. Top rock band ever, whenever anyone asks, what do you think the top 2 rock bands are, obviously the 2 top answers, you got Imagine Dragons and Nickelback. My 2 favorite bands ever. Definitely no one hates them, And, I think the big problem with, like, Billboard and stuff and how they rank their songs is their songs are actually ranked on how many radio plays they get, which is dictated by the radio network. So it's not like, this song's genuinely good, let's show it to people. It's, this song's pretty marketable, and it's very bland, and it has that same sound every other song has. Let's play it 500 million times. Excuse me? I don't think that's how it's supposed to work. I think that's the worst way of measuring songs, on popularity. I think that's the worst way possible. Because it's so easy to skew those results, Sirius XM, the biggest, satellite radio thing in North America. They could on a couple of their channels, boom, they play one song over and over and over on repeat. That racks up the plays it gets on the top 100, and then people start noticing it more. It gets played on other radio stations, and then boom, it's famous because one company decided to make it popular single-handedly. It's so stupid. Bad Liar by Imagine Dragons, the most influential rock band of the entire of the entire generation so far, No one's ever been as influential as Imagine Dragons. And if you search Imagine Dragons into Google, the first thing that comes up in your search results is Imagine Dragons pop band, The only people who think it's rock is Billboard. No one else thinks this is rock. Everyone knows it's just generic pop music. It's like Maroon 5, but somehow more marketable and more bland and just more generic. Somehow. It's ridiculous. I just had to listen to Bad Liar because I hadn't heard it before, okay? Don't freak out at me. I don't listen to Imagine Dragons because I don't want to lobotomize myself. It's not rock! I don't know what they're on about. It's the most bland pop song I think I've ever heard. It's got that generic beat of ba-doom boom, ba-doom boom, It's so generic. It's the least memorable thing I think I've ever heard in my entire life. It is ridiculous. Oh my god. I think we've just come to the first actual rock song that's on the top 2019 thing. And it was released 30 years ago. It wasn't even released in 2019. It just had a bunch of plays. Obviously, Queen Bohemian Rhapsody. Excuse me? How is that below freaking Hey Look Ma, I Made It? That just proves how wrong the system is at which they, with which they measure how, like, these rock songs, heavy air quotes there, like, you know, perform. It's so ridiculous. The only reason that Queen got as many plays this year as they did is because they had the Bohemian Rhapsody movie come out. So, yes, it's just ridiculous. Oh my god, it's actually the first rock song that you can't debate is not rock. At any form. It's the first one that you cannot debate it's not rock. You got Slipknot. Boom. You can't debate that's more rock than frickin' Imagine Dragons, okay? And I don't even like Slipknot. I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh yes, Slipknot's the purest form of metal. It's not. Get over yourselves, okay? Slipknot's just another band. They're influential, sure. It's a touchy subject, Slipknot, because a lot of hardcore metalheads, they're like, oh, Slipknot's not true metal, you know, true metal. I only listen to Pantera. But, you know, whatever. If you want to listen to it, you can listen to it. Go ahead. Someone please explain to me how Hurt is on a rock chart. Someone, you know, explain that to me, because I'm having a hard time understanding. I really am, okay? Please explain it to me. I'm having a very hard time understanding how anyone can consider this rock, okay? Are you out of your mind? What? It's the most generic pop song I think I've ever heard. It's ridiculous. Oh my god. You know, I don't get how, like, you've got bands heavy air quotes there, bands like Panic at the Disco, which is pretty much one guy, and Imagine Dragons, which is also one guy, along with bands like Slipknot, who have been around for years, and Tool, who have a very large following. It's ridiculous how you can compare these two. They're not nearly the same, like, they're not even nearly the same genre. Like, rock, it branches out. Metal, you got classic rock, hair metal, punk, alternative rock. There's so many different things, but none of these are remotely related at all. It's ridiculous. Oh my god. Okay, this is the part of the show where I rant about Green Day for a second. Their most recent album, it's not good, okay? They have gone so downhill. Dookie, amazing album. One of the best punk albums, in my opinion, okay? Obviously, it's not the best. It's not one of the classics, like Nevermind the Bollocks by the Sex Pistols, or like Dead Kennedys, Give Me Convenience or Give Me Death. It's not nearly on that level, but it's still way up there. I'd say top 10 most influential punk albums of all time, in my opinion. And it was genuine punk back then, you know? It was genuinely good music, and now they sound like a boy band, even though they're 50. It's ridiculous how much they've strayed from their roots, you know? It's so bad how far they've gone. Okay, can someone please riddle me this? How come Green Day went from having, you know, fast-paced drum beats, sick bass lines, like really good catchy guitar riffs, and really good vocals, to having, you can't even hear the bass in their new stuff. No bass. The drums sound like it's from a drum pack you get on your computer. It sounds like it's computerized, okay? It doesn't sound like they recorded it. It sounds terrible. Almost, you know, very, very minimal guitar playing, like do-do-do, and then you wait 4 beats, do-do-do. You know, it's so generic. And then you got heavy, like, effects on Billy Joe Armstrong's vocals, you know? It's ridiculous. How have they gone this far from where they were, you know? They used to be a really good band. Honestly, in my opinion, and I hate that I'm saying this, Blink-182 at this point is more punk than Green Day. I know. I hate that I'm saying it, because I hate Blink-182 more than Green Day. But Green Day's just gone so far from where they started, you know? They're not even close to where they started. Once you get to, like, the bottom 80 on, like, the bottom 20 of the top 100, so you're getting, like, 81, 82, 83, that's when you actually start getting genuine, you know, rock songs. You know, you got Five Finger Death Punch. You know, you got freaking Korn, Slipknot, Disturbed, Tool, you know? You have genuine bands. And then it's ridiculous. And then you have that mixed in with, like, freaking, it's ridiculous. You got that mixed in with Imagine Dragons. Can someone tell me how those are even in the same genre? Please elaborate on that. Oh my god. It's ridiculous. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. It was very different to what I usually post. You know, usually I don't rant about things. Usually I just, you know, poke fun at a larger YouTuber because that gets views. But I wanted to bring this up. You know, I wanted to talk about it because I think needs to be talked about, how there is such pop sound to every genre now, and there's not really much difference. Unless you really go to specific bands, but they're not getting out there, so they're not getting any new listeners. It's happening with every genre, too. You look at country, it's pop country now. There's no regular country anymore. It's all pop. Like a bunch of country stars collaborating with pop stars to make their new hits. If you look at hip hop, it's literally just pop. You know, it's not hip hop, it's pop. Rap, it's all SoundCloud rap, and a lot of it has very pop elements to it, you know? It all sounds the same. It's all like a variation of the same song. That's what it is to me. If you have a differing opinion, please leave it in the comment section below, because I would love to hear your take on it. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. It was pretty different. I hope you did enjoy it nevertheless, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.